Hi everybody, welcome to a new episode of the Planeswalker Scene. Today we're going to make a deck test. We had really big problems to record this video, so we're just making this at last minute. If you see, the clock is 2 a.m. Of Sunday, so we're going to release this episode in a few hours. I might be a little drunk. I won't dignify that with an answer. So, here we go. Today we're going to make a deck test because some guy asked us to do it, and okay, why not? We're going to talk about Edric, Spymaster of Trest. This is a rogue elf creature that is important because, well, you will see during the deck test, but both creature types are important. That reads: whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of our opponents, its controller may draw a card. This is great because we're going to draw tons of cards, but also that will make our opponents to attack each other instead of us. So, okay. So, we're going to start with the lands. I won't recommend play any EDH deck with less than 37 lands, but this is a really fast deck. Almost, I don't know, 60-70% of the creatures cost 1, so you don't need as much land as other decks. We do need untap lands, so Breeding Pool, great. Tropical Island, great. City of Brass, great. Command Tower, Mana Confluence, and Spymaster Coast. They are all lands that tap for all our mana. Then we're playing a bunch of lands. Always remember to play basic lands because, well, back to basic is a real thing. Even though Magic Online is banning those soon, this is a deck plan to play with another people, so it's still okay. We are running 6 fetch land because I only have those, but it should have all 7, the one that could fetch any of our colors, in order to thin our deck and draw more gas. I do run Strip Mine and a Wasteland in real life, but I'm planning to cut them because the colorless mana is heavy. I mean, it can slow us down, or out tempo us ourselves, and that is really tough in this deck. You're not playing control, you're just playing to win in this deck as fast as possible. So I don't know, the only colorless land that will fill the spot is Reliquary Tower because its ability is insane in this deck. So that's it. And well, Dryad Arbor, even though it do have Summon Sickness, you can fetch it with the Zenith. The Green Sun Zenith can fetch it for 0 Zenith. That's why it's here, but it can also be a free creature later on, so it's okay. So, well, I split the cards in some categories that I made. Mana Ramp, only the best one, Mana Crypt, and Soul Ring. And in this deck, even Soul Ring is put to question because we do need excellent turn 1, 2, and 3. Those are the most important turns in the deck. And if you waste a whole turn playing Soul Ring, then you're kind of off tempo. But you need it to win extra turns that they are expensiver. So well, that's why it's here. Then we play a bunch of creatures that are 1/1, so it can draw cards with Edric, but it could also help us get the extra lands in order to play extra turn later on, so this is great. Ramp, 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 ramp. As you can see, we have tons of creatures that add mana or put land into play. That's because we have some expensive spells and we plan to cast them really fast, so we need them. Then the second category is creatures with evasion. cheap creature with evasion. So 1/1 flying for 1, 1/1 flying for 1, 1/1 flying for 1. You will see this a lot. 1/1 flying for 1. Those are great. Now unblockables creatures are obviously better. So Hypnotic Siren is good because it's a 1/1 flyer for 1, but it can also take control of creatures later on if you're playing against a Silent Arbiter or maybe a Platinum Manshell or something like that. Then we have 1/1 for 1 that can be better, but we don't care about that. Well, this is not the best creature if you're playing 1v1. If you're playing against multiple players, it's better to have creature with Island Walk or Forest Walk, because those are the most common land types. So take that into account. This deck is built to play 1v1, the one I have in real life, but I don't have all the cards in Magic Online, that's why Merfolk Spy is in here. Then we have a new addition. Slither Blade is insanely good in this deck. Well, Triton Stalker is great too. Everything that is unblockable and cost 1 is great. And 1/1 flying for 1. Now the green cards. Well, Ramp, this should be here. Well, this is again, it's not what I have in real life, but it's still great in multiplayer, so okay. 1/1 flyer. Forest Walk, the same as Shukai Messenger. Skyshot Ranger is Ramp again. And now we have can't be blocked except by creatures with flying, can't be blocked except creature with flying, 1/1 flying but colorless, this is even better. Windcrafter is good because it can make our general fly and make it gain some evasion, and that is good for another reason we will see later. And Cloud Fairy is the only creature that costs 2, but that is just for attacking, I mean, and it's good because as you can untap 2 lands, it can win that turn and play another creature. For example, you can play a 1/1 creature in turn 1 and now 2 creatures in turn 2, 3 I mean, it's this one and 2 other 1-drops, and in turn 3 you can play Edric and attack with 4 creatures, it's good. Quickling is not as good as it seems. I may be cutting it, it's slow and you're not playing that game of bouncing things and that. Sylvan Library is kind of slow in this deck because you will be drawing tons of cards anyway, but it's so good if you are falling behind or if a Wrath attacks or whatever, so okay. Eladamri is the first creature that make our general good because it make him gain some evasion and Shroud, so some protection too, insane. And we are running some really heavy elf sub theme, so it's okay. And Scribe Ranger is good because you can have it has flash, so you can save the mana for counter spell, and so it's okay. It's a nice trick. It has protection from blue, nice. So then we have some protection, I guess. Kira is insane. I mean, it is expensive. This deck is so fast that 3 mana is a lot, but it's still a nice creature. Color of the Claw is good against board wipe, because if someone wipe our board, you can always play this at the end of turn and regain the whole creatures again, even though they are not as good as the one we play. It's cool. Druid's Repository is good once we are going off, because now every time we attack with a creature we're gaining mana in order to play extra turns, so you don't have to spend all your mana just to cast extra turns. Now you can play the creatures that you draw, it's okay. Dragon Predator, even though it's even slower than everything else that I just mentioned, is good because sometimes you have to get rid of pesky artifacts that are annoying us, like Silent Arbiter or Propaganda or Ghostly Priest or whatever. So this is essential. I mean, even though I don't like it, you can always tutor it with Screens and Zenith. Don't get me wrong, I love this creator, but it's super slow in this deck. Well, an Alluren that is, again, if you're chaining extra turn after extra turn after extra turn, now you can cast everything that you draw without having to keep it in your hand. And uh, usually commander decks are so expensive that no one is going to cast too much for free out of Alluren, but we can cast our whole deck, so it's okay. Now our win conditions, we only have two because you actually don't need them. I mean, once you're starting to play extra turns and everything, you will win anyway. But these are just emergency things, or if you want to win faster. So Triumph of the Horde, every creator will get +1/+1 and trample and infect. It's really easy to get 5 creatures pass through a player with this because everyone has evasion, so it's okay. And Beastmaster Ascension that will make us pump all our creatures in just one attack because it triggers every time a creature's attack. If you attack with 7 creatures, it will auto-trigger everything, so our minions will be strong. Now, for the next category, we have some stacks. Parallax Tide, if you're playing 1v1, you will win like 3 turns, removing creatures from land from your opponent. So, insane card. If you have never played, you should, because it's like gaining 2 or 3 extra turns if you play soon enough. And Mixstone, because we don't have creatures bigger than 3, so insane in this deck. In real life, I also play Tangle Wire. Tangle Wire is insane in Commander. If you haven't played, play it, believe me. But it's like 50 ticks in Magic Online, so way too much. Greens and Zenith, it can actually fetch half your decks, being the better things to fetch the Dryad Arbor in turn 1, or sometimes a Ladam Reef for some protection, and Forest Walk if you need to, or Predator if you have problems. Just a really good tutor in general. Then we have Mystical Tutor and Personal Tutor. I don't have a Temporal Mastery in here because it's expensive in Magic Online, but I do have it in real life. That's the best thing you can tutor for, or just simple extra turn, it's okay. The next category is falling behind. I mean, if you're not winning, then this may put you back in the game. They are not great once you're winning, but for example, believe it or not, Skull Clamp is slow in this deck because you need those 1/1 creatures attacking as fast as possible, and you can't waste mana sacrificing them. But if you are slow, then it's what you can do. Treasure Cruise, it's kind of the same. It's just too slow to draw 3 cards, but if you need it, it's still the best, so it's okay. Oracle Muldaya, it's just to win after a Wrath or whatever. If you have to draw gas, you can play the lands from the top and have better draws. It's okay. Then extra turns. Regrowth, it puts into extra turn because you will always be fetching back 1 extra turn with this. Walk the Eons, just win 1. Takes extra turn. Temporal Trespass will take extra turn. Take 2 extra turns. Take 1 extra turn. I don't have this in real life, but I do have Temporal Manipulation, so that. Not Temporal Manipulation, Temporal Mastery, sorry. Temporal Manipulation, that is just another extra turn. Beacon of Tomorrow, which is extra turn and shuffle again. And Nefarious Thong, that it's the card that make our general types relevant again. It's read that whenever you make damage with a rogue, you can pay its brawl cost, and if you do, you put X 1/1 creatures with flying, blacks, and take an extra turn after this one. So that's why it's so important Windcrafter, because with Windcrafter or with Eladam Re, we can make our general unblockable, and we need to make damage with our rogue to gain some value out of that card, so that's great. Then we have some counters, but not too much. Swan Song, Force of Will, Counterspell, Mana Drain, and the best one, Spell Stutter. It's good, you have some fairy, so it's okay, and it's a creator that draw you cards, so insane in this deck. And the last category is card that I would cut, but I don't know what else to put, because I don't have the budget I have in real life to match with the Magic Online, so Negate, it's okay, and Nature's Climb, that is okay. If you're playing multiplayer, I can recommend you Zodiac Rabbit, because Forest Walk is better than flying in that case. Willow Dryad, that with a really good draw. Shaolin Dryad, Merfolk Spy, Marsh Boa, Shukai Messenger, and Grayskull Guardian. So this is the deck. I hope you enjoy it. If you want any more deck tech or whatever, just ask. I mean, we will listen to you, and if we can do it, we will. Well, follow us. Thank you for watching our video. We do this for you, so I hope you enjoy it. See you next weekend.